Who caused the highest damage to the world? Anglo-Saxon crusades, Turkic invasions, world wars, or European colonization? Let's take it one by one. The crusades were not merely Anglo-Saxon, they were the Catholic crusades. So about 1,000 years or so before today, uh, the Middle East, what is currently Israel and Jerusalem, this region uh, it was under Arabic control. It was part of the caliphate. So the Muslims, the Arabs were in possession of this region. So Jerusalem is the holy city, and the place where Jesus Christ was crucified and all that. So the Catholic Church said that this holy city should not be in the hands of the Arabs, of the Muslims. So the Europeans, the Christians, need to go and conquer it. So this achieved multiple purposes. It consolidated the power of the Catholic Church, the Vatican. Yes, it also, to some extent, for some time, ended the infighting in Europe. Europe has this history of constant warfare, constant infighting between the various uh, kingdoms. So it brought all the European princes or kings together for a change, and it gave them a common purpose under the leadership and authority of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church was the real power in Europe, and all the infighting, much of it was actually orchestrated by the Catholic Church to maintain its hold and control and power over Europe. So it unified these guys together and sent them on this big voyage, this crusade to liberate Jerusalem. So there were these crusades, multiple crusades, and there was some damage done. The fighting typically happened in the Middle East, so it did not really cause a lot of damage to the world overall. So one can discount the crusades. The Turkic invasions caused incredible harm to the world. If we look at the death toll in India itself of the Turkic occupation of India, it will most likely cross 500 million over 7 centuries, maybe 7, 8, 9 centuries. At least 500 million Indians would have died. You cannot even imagine such a number. Maybe you laugh at me saying this, but if you calculate it properly, it will easily come to 500 million. That's the worst genocide in all history. Okay, and much more was done in Central Asia. So it was a demic genocide, and a physical extermination of people, and a cultural genocide, and a religious genocide. And then you had the Turkic invasions, Arabic invasions of Africa, etc., which enslaved much of Africa. And there was this slave trade, the Arab mediated African slave trade, in which incredible numbers of African people, men, women, children, mainly women, children, and also men, of course, were taken as slaves to the Arabic and Turkic world, and no trace of them survives today. So you can imagine what happened. So the Turkic invasions were a horrific event, definitely in the top three. The world wars caused a lot of damage. I'm not sure what was the total death toll of the world wars. Definitely less than the Turkic invasions. So Turkic invasions is above world wars, definitely. The European colonization. So the European colonization was one of the most horrific events on all world history. This little bunch, this little region, Europe, eventually took over the whole world. They colonized North America, South America, wiped out the natives, eradicated their culture, all traces of their history. At least 100 million Native Americans were killed off in North America. Who knows how many were killed in South America? Yes. uh, Asia, Africa is still colonized. Africa is still dirt poor. Why is it so? Because it is still actively being colonized by Europe, by European powers. So tremendous destruction in Africa. All the native cultures were wiped out of Africa. We don't even know how many people died. Today Africans practice foreign religions, and they fight each other for foreign religions, and they speak foreign languages. And obviously the colonization of India, the British killed off at least 100 million Indians, at least 100 million minimum, most likely 150 or 200 million. That's what the British did in India. So I think when it comes to the top two, it will be the Turkic invasions and the European colonization. Uh, they both would have very similar death tolls and similar cultural genocide effects. So the highest damage to the world was done by the by the Turkic invasions and the European colonization. The world wars are a distant third, I would say.